Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is Three Buck Theater, and I would argue that there is no more identifiable face on this planet when connected to the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise than this guy right here. Johnny Depp is the person you think of when you think of this not only film series, but simply just the park, the ride, anything involving it. When you hear dun 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 dun, you know it's Pirates of the Caribbean. You know that it's Johnny Depp, and fans have not forgotten that. Fans have not forgotten that. In fact, because of what's been going on with Disney, they've now started up their own petitions trying to get Captain Jack back for Pirates of the Caribbean 6, I believe. And you may recall that back in the latter half of last year, the latter couple months of last year, they announced that they were going to be rebooting Pirates of the Caribbean. In fact, Johnny Depp was fired as Captain Jack Sparrow in Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean because of his financial issues as well as his personal dramas. And if you haven't followed that whole situation, it's a total mess. It's an absolute mess, but it does kind of feel like Johnny has been run through the ringer, especially if you pay attention to any of the domestic abuse stuff and how the media treated Amber Heard. Again, that's a whole other topic for a whole other video. But we can see here that there's been this massive anti-Johnny Depp push in Hollywood now for a number of months, so much so that he might even be out of being Grindelwald for the remaining few Fantastic Beasts series. And that, of course, would I think tanked the franchise, and I think that's one of the reasons why Warner's delayed it. But if that happened, you could be sure we'd be seeing petitions like this one. Now, this is the biggest one that's come out. There's two that I found, and this is the biggest one that's come out. This one here, keep Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow. Nearly 14,000 people have signed it with a goal of 15,000. And this is what Femke wrote. She simply says, I want to keep Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow because he made the films extra fun, and I just can't think about a Pirate 6 without Johnny Depp. It's succinct, it's to the point, and Femke clearly has a lot of people backing her up, as she does have about 13,530 signatures at the time of this recording. And with more and more websites reporting on these petitions and linking to them, you can be sure that there will be more people that will be coming in to sign these to let their voice be heard. But who's to say it's going to have any real impact? We don't know. However, a more succinct one is this other one that I found here saying, we want Johnny Depp back as Captain Jack Sparrow. It only has about 4,469 signatures. And this is one of the problems when you have a petition like this, or multiple petitions, is that they kind of like, one might do well, others might do okay, when really they should just be combined. But then again, who's to say that it doesn't have a lot of the same signatures? So who knows on that one. But anyway, what she says here is Johnny Depp has been out recently as Captain Jack Sparrow. One of the reasons is his personal issues as well. He's been playing this role since 2003 when we first saw him arriving in Port Royal in his boat with that epic background music playing, as I sang out horribly earlier. She says, but can you imagine someone else portraying this instead of him, or Jack Sparrow, or no Jack Sparrow at all? Disney is rebooting Dead Men Tell No Tales because of its box office, but don't they know that without Johnny Depp or Jack Sparrow, they will sink. They will never be able to reach that horizon they are looking for, which is arguably very, very, very true, especially when you bring up just the franchise totals in regards to Box Office Mojo from this franchise. So we can see here that Dead Man's Chest, which came out in 2006, was the number one highest earner with 1.06 billion. Then you had On Stranger Tides, which came out a couple years, I think 5 years later in 2012, Memorial Day 2012. No, I think 2011 was, I think, when it came out, or it doesn't even really matter. Anyway, that was over $1 billion, but At World's End, close to $1 billion, but not quite there. But Dead Men Tell No Tales only did 795 million worldwide, whereas The Curse of the Black Pearl in 2003 did 654 million, which was viewed as an outright success 16 years ago. But now it's not as much because of how much money the budget was for Dead Men Tell No Tales. It was a large budget, and it did most of its money overseas. And the thing is Disney opted to do something different. They wanted to go back to the drawing board. Originally, Paul Wernick and Rhett Reese were going to be brought in to write it. They've now left the project, and I think that's for the best. I don't think Disney should reboot Pirates of the Caribbean. I think there are 16 years of great characters, 16 years of great storylines. Some of the movies have definitely fumbled. I would argue that the first one is clearly the best one. I mean, by a mile, it's the best one. But the other ones are definitely entertaining. They're definitely a lot of fun. And if you're going to go back into this world and not somehow bring in Johnny Depp to pass the torch to somebody else, especially given the cliffhanger from Dead Men Tell No Tales, that cliffhanger at the end of that movie was definitely insane, and one that was leaving it open for number 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever the hell they were going to do with it. By getting rid of that and not going down that particular plot point, again, you just kind of slap your fans in the face. You slap these people in the face that are paying the money. These movies are not bad. They're fun. They're fun action adventure movies that have unfortunately kind of buckled under their own weight. I think there's an expectation level that wasn't met, but it's not like these films are ultimately considered flops. $795 million for a Pirates of the Caribbean movie should be viewed as at least a moderate success. But then again, Disney, like all of these other studios, put so much money into these films that they become almost absolute sinkholes or money pits, and they never truly turn a profit because Hollywood accounting is still bunk. And then, of course, we see them decide that, oh, well, let's go back and reboot it. We'll make it for cheaper, but we'll use the name, we'll capitalize on the name, and that will be that. But why not go back, make it cheaper, bring in Johnny Depp? He'll probably do it for points on the back end. Like that's how Tom Cruise funds the Mission Impossible movies, the ones that do well and the ones that don't. He gets his points on the back end. That's where he makes his money. And I'm sure you could argue that as well when it comes to this film. But Disney's going to Disney, and this is just where we are. So who's to say that they're going to listen to the fans and keep Johnny Depp around? Probably not for a while, not while he's engaged in these legal battles. I think if Johnny Depp came out and said he was going to rehab, trying to get clean and trying to figure everything out, Disney would probably be willing to work with him, very similar to James Gunn and them, waiting a little bit of time after firing him before bringing him back in. So not all is lost. Definitely not all is lost. But if you want to see Johnny Depp back in the Pirates of the Caribbean 6 to at least wrap up the storylines, to maybe finish out the franchise right now, not just leave it on a cliffhanger and then walk away, let me know your thoughts, your opinions down below. If you've made it this far, please consider subscribing and liking the video, and just type pirates in the chat so I know. I want to know. I want to know from me. And I will talk to you guys later. Have yourself a fantastic day, and peace out.